In this video, we'd like to tell you how you can dodge the new active radar homing missiles, also known as the FOX-3. Your main tool in defending against radar-guided missiles is your RWR, or Radar Warning Receiver. Depending on the aircraft, it can provide you with various details, such as detected radar signal and its direction, threat type, target lock, and missile launch. To make sure the pilot notices the danger, each source type is identified with its own unpleasant sound. But first, a few words about FOX-3. The top speeds and acceleration rates of radar homing missiles are vastly superior to any aircraft, but they have modest fuel capacity, which limits their flight range. Once the motor's out of fuel, the missile stops accelerating and begins to lose all the momentum it had. So if you're pretty far away, around 15 to 20 kilometers, you can use a pretty reliable method of dodging radar homing missiles, turning 90 degrees to any side. This is known as the 3-9 maneuver, with the numbers showing the directions on a watch face. It's extremely simple to do. Once you see the RWR warning about a missile launch, make a turn to place the missile to your side at 3 or 9 o'clock. Position your aircraft in such a way that neither the top nor the bottom part of it is exposed. This way, you can track the missile's position with your RWR. Continue flying while keeping the MSL indicator at 3 or 9 o'clock. If necessary, you can deploy your chaff. Once you see that the MSL indicator on your RWR begins moving from its 3 or 9 o'clock position to the rear hemisphere, you're free to turn back. It means that the missile can no longer maneuver. Now, what about super long-range launches, like from 20 kilometers and further? As we've already mentioned, the missile uses momentum to travel most of its path, and each new maneuver forces it to bleed energy. So one of the good dodging options in this case is to fly in a zigzag. This maneuver will force the missile to constantly change its course and lose its energy before it can hit you. Once its energy is exhausted, dodging it becomes easy. Now, when the distance is 10 kilometers or less, you're in bigger trouble. It's too close for the missile to lose all of its energy, and it has much higher chances of meeting with your aircraft. So in this case, your best hope is chaff. Here's how you can dodge the missile in this case. Once you spot a launch, immediately turn to the side to leave the missile behind you at around 4 or 8 o'clock. Turn on the regular chaff deployment, and the missile changes course and flies right past you. Finally, you can use altitude to your advantage. For instance, you can quickly dive from a few thousand meters to the ground. You see, a missile's homing device aims at a leading point in front of the target. If the targeted aircraft makes a sharp dive, that point might be calculated to be below ground level. Naturally, the munition will quickly crash in this case. It might take a bit of training to perform these maneuvers, but learning them will make your time in the air simpler, and also longer. Maybe you already use some of these tricks. Tell us in the comments below.